Here with Adam Butler. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's going on, sir?
Man, I'm trying to figure out if we're going to be spending our Sundays differently now.
Oh my God, man! Yes, the NFL Lockout is official. I didn't think we'd get to this point, man. I'm scared about this. Once again, we're here with my man KD. My girl, Miss Morgyn, is in the building. KD, you are the NFL expert, man. Are we going to have football this season?
Please, gods.
Please, yes, please. Are we having football?
I would probably, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would probably say yes, we are going to have football this year.
High five.
Yes, sir.
I think right now we're looking at a lot of rich people that are doing their thing and trying to decide how they're going to cut up a pie.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times people have conversations, you know, what is going on, what's happening with the lockout.
What is happening?
To put it in a short version, because you probably need a whole panel of lawyers and accountants to tell you really what's going on with the bargaining.
Right.
The owners have locked out the players. They prevented them from coming onto NFL facilities for the foreseeable future. Right. There was a CBA, a collective bargaining agreement, that they signed back in 2006 that both sides agreed to have an opt-out clause if they thought that the terms of the deal weren't fair moving forward.
Right.
The owners obviously jumped on this and they opted out actually as far back as 2008. That's what a lot of people don't understand. This has been brewing for the last 3 years. We've been leading up to this. So the owners decided they were going to opt out of the deal and they wanted to renegotiate a new collective bargaining agreement with the players union. That would basically, the whole beef is basically over sharing of the revenue. Team revenue.
Right.
The teams, basically, for those who don't know, billions. We're talking about cutting up a $10 billion pie next year.
Right.
So you're not going to get any sympathy from me on either the players or the owner side.
Right.
If you're trying to decide how to divide $10 billion, and I'm worried about getting laid off of my 9 to 5. You know, so a year. Yeah, exactly. $10 billion of revenue a year. Now, basically, the way the NFL model works is that you have 32 clubs that all generate their own revenue. But because you have certain things as small markets, large markets, different marketing streams, they pool some of their resources, some of their revenue, and they share it amongst themselves. This is really the crux of the argument that the public doesn't get to see. It's really small market owners and big market owners arguing over how they're going to share the revenue. Instead of figuring out and coming to a consensus, they decided the easiest thing to do is take away player salaries, to reduce the amount of money that's allocated to player salaries. So that's where the whole beef comes in. The players don't want you to take away from their salary pool, and the owners are infighting amongst themselves. And now you also have on the player side, you have the big market people, Peyton Manning's, Tom Brady of the world, that are making $18 million a year. That's not
lawsuits, by the way.
Exactly.
As we speak.
That's not the normal though. You know, you have 65 players on the team. A lot of these guys are making $325,000 a year, and they're only going to play for 2 years. So when people say that you're talking about millionaires, you're not talking about that. You're talking about people that have a short career of 3 years to make what they're trained to do.
So isn't this a case of greed? And I asked Morgyn, and don't you? I mean, really, just from your personal opinion, don't you think this is a case of greed? I mean, because you have Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, these billion-dollar athletes in the forefront trying to represent
the endorsements that they have.
Exactly, they're good. They're trying to speak for a guy that's just trying to make it in the NFL. Isn't that a case of greed?
Definitely. Definitely it is. I don't understand why this is going on right now. Personally, as a fan, I'm a little bit ticked off. I root for football, and I don't want to feel like this come, August, September, and, the season is really supposed to be kicking off. No, I don't feel like this.
You want to be talking about that free agent we just got, or that draft.
And then you got to think about all the other things that affect it too, like free agency, the draft. I mean, like preseason workouts.
Fantasy football. What am I going to do without fantasy football?
What am I going to do on Sunday and Thursday night?
Exactly. And that's the main thing, is that you have these people that are arguing over things that make no difference to me. You're taking away my football, and it makes no difference. So
if you're going to get an extra building,
exactly,
and I say $40,000 a year.
All right.
And ultimately, because if they have a lockout, if this proceeds into the season, they're going to lose money anyway.
Exactly, and that's really the point that's going to bring everybody back to the negotiation table. What we're looking at right now, for those that don't know, is we have a date of April 6th. That's the players after. Let me back up a little bit. The players decided to decertify their union. That basically puts the NFL in a position where their collective bargaining agreement is no good. NFL has an antitrust exemption from the government. Without a union to be in partnership with, that goes away. So now you're looking at the NFL is basically not allowing a free market to happen. You're not allowed to go out and apply for a job and get the best amount of income that you are personally. If you have a draft and you're slotted, you have to go report to a team. That's not fair unless you have antitrust. So we're talking about the potential of the unraveling of everything that the NFL is built on right now. You could be talking about teams being contracted, going down from 32 teams, which in part the union won't want, because if you get rid of 6 teams, that's 65 jobs per team for your constituency. So that means that you're talking about losing 360 jobs for the people that you're planning to represent. That obviously can't work. So both sides have a lot to lose if this gets drawn out to the point that we all hope it doesn't, and we start to lose games and talk about going to ulterior leagues and things of that sort. You have the UFL and the CFL. Those players aren't going to make millions of dollars.
The XFL, you have all the players
going to Vince McMahon.
Now the UFL is a lot better prepared than the XFL was to take over from the NFL. They started their league in 2008 when all this was happening, when the owners were locking out. They were primed to take any kind of
Marty Schottenheimer just took a job.
Exactly. They just announced that Marty Schottenheimer is going to be the coach for the Virginia franchise.
And Jerry Glanville.
And exactly, and Jerry Glanville. So you're looking at these competitive leagues that are trying to take a piece of the pie of the NFL, and for the most part, nobody respects any other professional football than the NFL.
Yeah. So this whole notion of 18-game seasons, I mean, do we really need that? Would it really be worth it to play 18 more games or 2 extra games?
I mean, I can't lie, as a fan, I'm going to watch football regardless. I'm going to love to see football, but at the same time, you know, that's going to kill the player. It'll kill the season. I'd rather see, you know, my star player for 5 years with a great career for you know, a long span of time than a short career because he got injured and extra games
for us.
Yeah.
Basically, I understand. I mean, but she made a good point. We're going to watch the games regardless, and that goes back to your point earlier.
Yeah, we're definitely going to watch the games, and the NFL owners, they're banking on that. What I would say is, as a gambling man, I would love to have 18 more regular season games because I can't put any money down on the preseason game. Yeah, really. If you're going to pull the starters after 3 plays, I can't bet on that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So from the fan point of view and wanting to see real full-fledged football, everybody trying their hardest for the full 60 minutes, I would love to see an 18-game schedule. But I completely understand what that would do to the players and how it would shorten their careers. If you're only playing for 2 to 3 years, you know, because of whatever reason, injuries or, you know, getting turned over on the roster, whatever the situation might be, adding 18 games to that impact it has on your body, that might just be too much. You're going to have to compensate the players, and that's part of what's going on now. If you're going to move to 18 games, how are you going to reduce the salary cap? What are you going to bump it up to? Pay me more money. Those are the type of things that they're debating. The insurance, exactly. Those are all the things that happen in the CBA negotiations. They're all weighing these things. I'll give you this if you give me this. So, you know, don't fall for all the PR spin that they're giving you right now. These are the core issues. How are we going to balance how we're cutting up this pie?
And the players are giving spin with this whole, you know, we modern day slaves talk and all that.
Let's abolish that.
Yes.
Let's abolish that.
Abolish slavery and that talk as well.
Because, you know, if I'm getting paid millions of dollars, they can come tackle me right now.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, so and also I like to say, man, that yes, their bodies are, you know, they're put through rigorous, you know what I'm saying, they're hurt. But at the same time, they sign a contract and they're compensated for it. While I buy both of you guys' arguments, I don't think it should be an 18-game season because you know, you run the risk of shortening career both and hurting yourself. Maybe one more game and one preseason game, 1 tune-up. One team, and that's the thing they're keeping on the table. There are 20 games on the schedule for preseason and 16 regular. They're just talking about switching 2 of the preseason games and making them regular season games. So the players still prepare. They still practice every week for the 20 weeks. That doesn't change. But the
like
game
action in the beginning, you're going to pull the starters out after 3 plays.
That's right.
Exactly.
Some starters won't even see the preseason. You know? They fake an injury or
Look
whatever.
what Brett Favre does. He sits out the entire preseason.
Brett Favre always hurt preseason. Always.
I'm going to play this season.
I think he's officially retired. I think he's officially. After that whooping he took last season, I think he's officially done.
Brett Favre definitely doesn't want to lock out for real. Trust me.
He's a superhuman.
He is
winning.
Don't keep it. He's definitely not winning right now. Anyway, really quickly, we gotta get ready to wrap this thing up. When does this end? Like, give me a month.
What we're looking at right now, my personal opinion would be that we are going to have football this coming season. I think what most likely is going to happen, this is just my opinion, I don't have any insider knowledge, but I think the judge will eventually rule, you guys go back to work, Well, I might have a couple.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later if we want to make some wagers, you know.
Yeah.
Y'all gambling on it. Okay.
I think the judges are going to end up saying, you guys go back to work while you're discussing this, while you're working out the deals of the collective bargaining agreement. Don't take away the game from the public because there's too much going on. There's too many things that are going to be affected if we cancel games. So we're all hopeful that's what happens.
If it goes on any longer, I'm gonna have to call Obama up and
because
he has the ultimate decision he can make.
I'm waiting for him to step in because I'm sure he's interested. That man is a football fan, so I'm sure that he's interested in what's going on. And if it takes some presidential injunctions,
executive decisions here,
we're
gonna have to get
so be it.
I'll have to get an executive decision on football, man. KD, thank you for coming through, man.
Appreciate you having me, brothers.
Miss Morgan, I love you. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thanks for having me.
This is how it's gonna be every week, people. Look, debates, interviews, is how we do it, man. I'm Adam Butler, that's Paul Spann.
Black Man Spann, that $1 million for a tackle still stands.
Yeah, man, I mean, look, offer me $1 million, I'll tackle this dude and I'll give him half of it. How about that? We work it out.
You give me the agent fee and I'll just watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Road games, we out of here.